Stop. Don't scroll. This isn't random. You weren't meant to see this, but you did. What tried to delay you just lost. Pause. God is breaking into your feed right now. Ignore this and stay stuck. Stay, and your life shifts. You think this video found you. It didn't. God redirected you here. The road you were walking looked familiar, but it was quietly draining you. You were giving energy without receiving clarity. You were moving, but not advancing. Smiling, but shrinking. That path was not evil. It was just finished. You kept asking God for a sign, something clear, something undeniable. You expected a door to open. Instead, the noise stopped. People faded. Plans slowed down. That wasn't punishment. That was intervention. You were not blocked. You were protected from going further in the wrong direction. Some roads feel safe because you've walked them before, but familiar does not mean aligned. Comfort does not mean calling. God interrupts patterns when they start costing you your peace. He disrupts routines that keep you small. He reroutes lives when staying would quietly destroy potential. What felt like delay was actually restraint. What felt like silence was correction. What felt like loss was release. The danger isn't in the redirection. The danger is resisting it. When you fight change, lessons repeat. The same pain shows up in different faces. The same frustration wears new clothes. The same disappointment returns, louder each time. God will keep teaching until the message is received. This moment is not about fear. It's about awareness. Something in your life reached its expiration date. And instead of breaking you suddenly, God slowed you down gently. He stepped in before the damage went deeper. Redirection never feels like relief at first. It feels confusing, unsettling, lonely. Because miracles don't always arrive wrapped in comfort. Sometimes they arrive disguised as endings. Most people miss their breakthrough because they're busy mourning what God removed. They beg for what already expired. They cling to what can no longer carry them forward. But the shift begins the moment you stop asking, "Why did this end?" and start asking, "What is this making room for?" God does not remove without intention. He does not interrupt without purpose. He does not redirect without destination. This pause you're in is not a dead end. It's a turning point. What comes next will require a stronger version of you, a clearer version, a quieter, more grounded version. That's why the old path had to close. You're not late. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You are being positioned. Let me be honest. This is the part that hurts. God is not adding anything yet. He's removing. Not to punish you, not to empty you, but to protect what's next. Some people had access to you without respect. They benefited from your energy, but never honored your value. They were comfortable receiving from you while giving nothing back. That season is over. Some opportunities looked perfect on the outside. Good money, good image, good promises, but every time you engaged, your peace dropped. Your spirit felt tired instead of excited. What drains your soul cannot build your future. Some delays felt cruel. You wondered why nothing moved when you were ready. But those pauses were not accidents. They were interruptions meant to stop you from choosing what would cost you later. That sudden distance you felt from someone you trusted was not betrayal. It was exposure. That door that closed without explanation was not rejection. It was prevention. That silence that made you question yourself was not abandonment. It was redirection. Loss feels loud. Protection feels confusing. That's why most people misread what God is doing. God removes quietly. He does not argue with you. He does not force understanding. He simply cuts access to what cannot go forward with you. Some connections were seasonal, not permanent. Some roles were temporary, not lifelong. Some plans were safe, but not aligned. If they stayed, they would have competed with your calling. They would have pulled you backward while you were meant to rise. They would have demanded loyalty that destiny never approved. This is not God taking something from you. This is God taking something off of you. What feels empty right now is actually being prepared. Space is being created. Weight is being lifted. Noise is being removed. You are being cleared for something that requires focus, something that needs your full strength, something that cannot survive distractions. That ending was necessary, not because you failed, but because you outgrew it. God will never build your future on a foundation that drains you. He will never carry dead weight into a new season. He will never allow what dishonors you to define you. This removal is not the end of your story. It is the correction before acceleration. What comes next will feel different. It will feel quieter, stronger, more stable, but it will only unfold if you stop fighting what had to end and trust that God sees what you cannot see yet. Right now, in this moment, everything pauses. You are standing at a crossroads. Not someday, not later, now. One direction feels familiar because you've walked it before. You know the pain there. You know the limits. You know exactly how far it goes. The other direction feels uncomfortable, uncertain, quiet. But something in you recognizes it. It doesn't excite your ego. It steadies your spirit. That's alignment. God does not drag people into destiny. He doesn't push. He doesn't rush. He waits. He waits for consent. This is where many lives stall. Not because God is silent, but because people hesitate. They pray for change, then protect what keeps them the same. They ask for new doors, then refuse to leave old rooms. They want clarity without movement, results without risk, purpose without discomfort. Destiny doesn't respond to words, it responds to decisions. Faith without movement becomes delay. Hope without action becomes frustration. Remaining passive feels safe, but safety is expensive. It costs time. It costs growth. It costs momentum. Nothing shifts until something is chosen. Alignment is not dramatic. It doesn't shout. It feels calm, but firm. It asks for courage, not noise. Choosing alignment may cost approval. It may cost familiarity. It may cost relationships that only loved the old version of you. But it gives something back. Clarity, strength, direction. The moment you decide, pressure loosens, confusion fades, your energy returns. You don't have to see the whole path. You only have to step off the wrong one. This moment is smaller than you think, but heavier than it looks, because the future you've been waiting for is waiting on a decision you've been avoiding. God already knows where you're meant to go. This moment is not for him. It's for you. Choose what brings peace, not fear. Choose what grows you, not what traps you. Choose what aligns, even if it costs comfort. Because once you choose alignment, life stops resisting you and starts responding. After this moment, things don't explode all at once. They settle. The noise in your mind softens. The constant second-guessing fades. You stop forcing answers that were never meant to be chased. Clarity arrives quietly. The right people begin to appear without effort. Not rushed, not draining. They recognize you without needing explanations. What felt delayed starts moving again. Not all at once, but with precision. One block lifts, then another. Momentum replaces resistance. Pressure dissolves into peace. Not because life becomes perfect, but because you're no longer fighting yourself. You'll notice it in small ways. A conversation, that lands differently, an idea that feels steady instead of desperate, an opportunity that fits instead of overwhelms. That's alignment. God doesn't announce shifts with noise. He rearranges quietly. He positions people where effort becomes lighter and progress feels natural. When you're positioned correctly, you don't chase outcomes. They move toward you. You stop proving. You stop explaining. You start receiving. This is not luck. It's order being restored. What opens next won't demand exhaustion. It won't require you to abandon yourself. It will feel calm, clear, and grounded. This is what happens when resistance ends and alignment begins. Before this moment passes, slow down. Not tomorrow, not later. Now. Everything you've heard up to this point leads here. You don't need to do anything dramatic. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to rush. Just be still for a second. Feel your breath. Feel your heartbeat. Say this to yourself, quietly or out loud. I trust where God is leading me, even if I don't understand it yet. Those words are not weakness. They are surrender. And surrender is strength. Trust does not mean you see the full plan. It means you stop fighting the process. It means you allow guidance instead of control. If this message reached you, it wasn't by chance. Moments like this don't interrupt random lives. They meet people who are ready for change, even if they're scared of it. You've already survived what you thought would break you. You've already outgrown places you once begged to stay. You've already become stronger than the version of you who started this journey. This is not the end of anything important. It's the end of confusion, the end of resisting, the end of walking in circles. Redirection doesn't mean you failed. It means you're ready for more. God does not redirect lives that want to stay small. He redirects lives that are prepared to rise, to carry more purpose, more clarity, more responsibility. What's ahead won't demand you betray yourself. It won't require constant struggle. It won't feel like running uphill forever. It will feel steady, grounded, aligned. Not because everything becomes easy, but because you're finally moving in the right direction. This moment matters more than it looks, because once you accept the redirection, you stop questioning every step and start trusting the path. Carry this forward, not with fear, not with urgency, but with confidence. You are not lost. You are not late. You are being led. And what comes next will meet you exactly where you are. This message is a reminder that nothing happening in your life right now is random. You are guided here because God is redirecting you, not to punish you, but to protect and position you. The path you are on may have felt familiar, yet it was draining your peace, delaying your growth, and keeping you smaller than you're meant to be. What feels like loss, silence, or delay is actually divine intervention. God often removes people, plans, and opportunities that can't go forward with you. Those endings were necessary so your destiny wouldn't be compromised. Redirection is uncomfortable because it asks you to release control and trust without seeing the full picture. But resisting it only causes the same lessons to repeat, louder and more painful each time. This moment is about decision. Destiny responds to movement, not just prayer. When you choose alignment over comfort, confusion begins to fade. Clarity, peace, and the right connections start showing up naturally. You stop forcing outcomes and begin receiving what fits. If this message reached you, it's because you're ready to rise. Trusting God's direction, even without understanding it, is the final step. You are not lost, late, or forgotten. You are being led into what's next.